So if you're studying Mandarin, you have definitely heard of the HSK. But let's be honest, preparing for it can feel kind of chaotic. In this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise and give you a clear, strategic roadmap for tackling this thing. We'll turn your prep into a really powerful part of your learning journey.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to start with the absolute basics, what the HSK even is. Then we'll talk about its changing levels, help you figure out which one to aim for, and finally, build out a solid game plan with all the right tools and, the right mindset. First things first, let's get our bearings. You wouldn't start a journey without knowing where you're going, right? So, what exactly is this exam, and why do so many people decide it's a destination worth reaching? Okay, so the HSK, or Hanyu Shuiping Kaoshi, is China's official standardized test for Mandarin proficiency. The easiest way to think about it, it's basically the Chinese equivalent of the TOEFL or IELTS for English. It's the global benchmark, recognized everywhere. So why even bother? Well, for a lot of people, it's not really a choice. It's the key that unlocks things like university admissions, scholarships, and even jobs in China. But beyond all that, it gives you an amazing roadmap if you're learning on your own. It gives you clear milestones and a totally objective way to see just how far you've come. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The map itself is actually being redrawn as we speak. The whole HSK system is in the middle of a pretty big change, and I know it can be confusing. So let's clear that up right now. We are smack in the middle of a transition period. The old 6-level system that most of our study books are based on, that's being replaced by a much more detailed 9-level framework called HSK 3.0. This new system is designed to line up better with global standards, and it gives you a much more fine-tuned path from beginner all the way to, well, near native proficiency. So, listen up, because this is absolutely crucial. Before you buy a single book or download one app, you have to check with your test center. Find out which version they're offering, the old HSK 2.0 or the new 3.0. Seriously, this one little check will save you from the massive headache of studying for the wrong test. All right, now that we understand the map, it's time to plot your own path. The HSK isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal, so how do you figure out which level is the right one for you to be aiming for? This chart is honestly the perfect way to think about it. Your target level should tie directly to what you want to do in the real world. Want to travel around China and be basically independent? HSK 2 or 3 is a great goal. Thinking about university? You're probably looking at HSK 4 or 5. And for that high-level professional work, that's where HSK 5, 6, and those new advanced levels really come into play. Okay, let's get practical. You've got your destination, you've got your path, now you need the right toolkit. We're talking about the actual strategies for mastering the core skills that you're going to be tested on. Everything, and I mean everything, is built on vocabulary. But your strategy has to be smarter than just staring at a long list of words. Let's look at how to build that foundation the right way. So how do you do it? Well, 3 things. First, use spaced repetition systems. Apps like Anki are an absolute game changer. Second, never learn a word in isolation. Always learn it in an example sentence so you actually get how it's used. And third, make it stick by studying themed lists. Like all the words for food or business or travel. Next up, listening. And this is the section that trips up so many people. The biggest challenge? You only get to hear each recording one time. That's it. No do-overs. So you have to train your ear to catch the meaning instantly. And to do that, you just need a ton of consistent exposure. Listen to Chinese podcasts, listen to music, get your ear used to the natural speed. Definitely use official HSK practice audio so you get familiar with the test format. And try shadowing. That's when you repeat what you hear right after you hear it. It's amazing for both listening and pronunciation. Now, for the reading section, the challenge really changes as you go up. At the lower levels, it's mostly about recognizing characters. But once you hit HSK 4, 5, and 6, it becomes a race against the clock. You have to read fast while also picking up on all the subtle details and complex ideas. So to build that skill, start with graded readers. Those are books written specifically for your HSK level. Then just read a lot. News articles, blog posts, anything that interests you. And finally, you have to practice those exam techniques like skimming an article to get the general idea and scanning to find specific little bits of information really quickly. Okay, so you've got the tools. Now it's time to put them all together into a smart, consistent study plan that you can actually stick with. This is your day-to-day itinerary on the road to acing this exam. A huge question that always comes up is about mock exams or practice tests. Are they just for that last-minute cram session, or is there a better way to use them? Here's the most important thing to know. Mock tests are diagnostic tools. They're not just for practice. Yes, you use them to get comfortable with the timing and the format, but their real power is that they show you exactly where you're weak. Did you struggle with listening? Run out of time on reading? Your mistakes on a practice test tell you precisely what to focus on next. And this schedule is a great example of how to pull it all together. A balanced routine doesn't mean you need to study for hours every day. We're just talking 15 to 20 minutes for vocabulary, 20 to 25 for listening, and so on. Just remember, consistency is so much more powerful than intensity. This kind of approach makes sure you're covering all your bases without burning out. So, after all the flashcards, all the practice tests, all the study sessions, what's the one thing that truly matters? What's the big takeaway from all this? I think this quote just says it perfectly. Look, the HSK is an incredible tool. It gives you structure, it gives you motivation, it gives you validation, but it is not the same thing as being fluent. Passing the test is a huge milestone, a massive achievement, but the real goal has always been communication.
Ultimately, that's what this is all about. The HSK is a framework to help you build real, practical skills. Use it. Use it to open doors to new conversations, new books, new experiences. The certificate you get, that's just proof of your progress. The journey itself, well, that's the real reward.